Today I am signing up to run for mayor. I got my signatures. I had them approved yesterday. I just had all this stuff notarized. So I'm going to go in, and I believe it's $50. And then after that, we can accept campaign donations. I'm setting up a Facebook. So if anybody wants to help, obviously, I don't have deep pockets, and I'm going to need a lot of help to keep the Big Island from becoming a police state. How much was it? $50?
$50.
We started as Friends for Justice, and we're still using that as our campaign name for donations. But we started as a medical cannabis club, and later we became a medical cannabis collective. And so we opened up in 2015. I ended up getting arrested, and we ended up going to trial in 2019, and I was found not guilty. We didn't actually able to fix it for everyone. We were hoping that it would not just me be found guilty, but we could actually make it so patient-to-patient transfer. There's over 30,000 medical cannabis patients, with the majority of them on the Big Island. And so I'm still fighting for them, and I'm also fighting for the lowest law enforcement priority. What happened was Mitch Roth, I want to say 20 years ago, brought in administrative forfeiture. And between administrative forfeiture and matching funds, it turned law enforcement against the people and became law enforcement for profit. And so what we want to do is get rid of law enforcement for profit, which is administrative forfeiture and matching funds. The lowest law enforcement priority did pass in 2008, and they should have followed it. Recently, state legislation passed unanimously to stop administrative forfeiture, because you guys got to remember, administrative forfeiture is they take stuff before you're even found guilty. And they did an audit of it in 2018, and the Big Island has the worst abuse. They got Mitch Roth to comment on that, and he said, hey, the governor was right to veto the administrative forfeiture bill, because he's never heard of it being abused. And it's funny that he would say that, because he's the guy that does it. He's the guy that actually takes people's property. He's the guy, and here's an interesting example, was they just had a guy, I'm not going to say any names, but a plumber, and he just bought a new truck, the father, for the plumbing business. Now, one of the workers got pulled over and had a meth pipe, and they confiscated the truck, the work truck. This is administrative forfeiture, and it goes against the cornerstone of the judicial system, which is you're innocent till proven guilty. It goes against the Constitution, which is due process and safe and secure in your possessions. And so a group of people wanted me to come up to give the people of the Big Island a better choice than the prosecutor, the current prosecutor, who's running for mayor right now. And I'd also like to point out that he should have resigned. See, I'm filing right now, and in there they got a piece of paper that if you're filing and you're running for mayor and you hold a county position, you're supposed to resign. He didn't do so, and he's going to wait until the cutoff date in June. Now, I'm not saying he's breaking any campaign laws, but I believe it's unethical. We'll let the people decide that. But between administrative forfeiture and matching funds, they've been attacking cannabis users. We don't need to. Hawaii grows the best cannabis in the world and the best hemp in the world. Hemp is now legal across America. There's no reason why we can't be a very productive and prosperous island if we take care of this and we stop coddling law enforcement and enforcing laws for profit. So that's the real reason I came out. I by no means wanted to be mayor. A group of friends came to me, and I'm trying to give the Big Island a better choice. And I want to bring up a few other points, which is, if I'm made mayor, HCCC, I plan on bulldozing that and making it a dog park. What they want to do is turn it into a 7-story high-rise jail right in the heart of town. 75 years ago, that might have been a good idea, but it's not now. It's right next to the hospital. It's right next to the best homes in town. We don't need a 7-story prison right in the heart of town. My idea is a community farm outside of town, and I want to have the prisoners actually working on the farm, ranching, growing their own food, vegetables, and enough to actually make money. And we're going to pay them so that when people get out of jail, they got money in their pocket. That's like the opposite of administrative forfeiture. And there's another one problem going on right now that I think we need to bring up. And a couple whistleblowers who wouldn't bring up their name, they brought it up in the paper, which is We have two sets of rules now. Apparently county workers, if they get in trouble, we don't get to hear about it till 8, 9 months later, like in the Leloy case. When they interviewed Mitch Roth on that, he said, well, maybe we don't know. Maybe the system is working. No, let me, here's a little reality check. When we don't know, that means the system isn't working. That means they were covering up. They covered up the Leloy instance, and they only do that on the Big Island. And here's the thing, we should have sunshine on the Big Island. I understand we're the rainiest part of Hawaii, but we need sunshine, and we need sunshine in the government. And you'll notice in the Kealoha case and Oahu, we heard about it right away. They didn't wait. See, Leloy, he actually assaulted that other county employee in July. It would have been nice to know for my trial, because when I brought up, hey, when he came up to my house and threatened to beat me up, he totally said he didn't do that. Obviously, he did do that. And so my point is this, is they got this completely backwards. They got the cart before the horse. If anything, it's the people who should have more rights, not the county employees. County employees should be held to a higher standard than citizens. If anybody, when there's a problem, an arrest, if anybody should not have their name blasted in the paper, it's the citizens, not the county employees. So they got that completely backwards. We're going to fix that as well. So there's a lot of things I want to fix. I love my community farm idea. It's not a new one, and it's one that's being used across the country. Locking up non-victim criminals is stupid, and it's expensive. It costs 10 times as much, and everybody knows this. Non-victim criminals and homeless people, they need help. It's a mental health issue. When you take mental health issue people and put them 5 to a 2-man cell, like we're currently doing here, it doesn't help anybody. And taking non-victim criminals' possessions on administrative forfeiture is not making the county safer. It's making them more desperate, which means more dangerous, and they're more apt to go out and do something desperate. Let's stop that. And that's why I'm running for mayor.